Lord, I have had enough. Take my life.
You just came off the hardest fight of your life. You gave everything you had. You prayed. You believed. You kept going. And then the fear came. Not before the battle, after it. Now you are sitting somewhere, asking God why you are still doing this. You are not broken. You are not faithless. You are Elijah. And what God did next will change the way you see your right now. Now, I don't believe you are here by accident. I believe you are here because you need a fresh touch on your life from the Word of God. So settle in, listen, and allow the Word of God to bring you strength and comfort exactly where you are right now. There is a kind of tired that sleep does not fix. You can rest your body and still feel worn all the way down in your soul. And if you have ever prayed hard, believed hard, fought hard, and then watched something fall apart anyway, you know exactly what I am talking about. This is not the exhaustion of someone who gave up a long time ago. This is the crash that comes after you actually believed, after you stood, after you prayed through the night and kept your faith intact through things that should have broken it. And sometimes the worst part is that it hits you right after the victory, right after God came through, like your whole soul crossed the finish line and then just collapsed on the other side of it. That is a real thing, and the Bible does not pretend it isn't. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 19 and make this plain. Elijah had just done something the world had never seen. He stood alone on Mount Carmel against 450 prophets of Baal. He prayed, and fire fell from heaven in front of an entire nation. He prayed again, and after 3.5 years of drought, the rain came back. He had seen God do the impossible with his own eyes. And then one woman, Queen Jezebel, sent him a message. She told him she was going to kill him before morning, and Elijah ran. The man who called fire down from heaven ran from one person. Let me say that again, because I need you to understand what is actually happening here. This was not a weak man. This was not a faithless man. This was a prophet who had just watched God move in ways most people never see in a lifetime. And fear hit him anyway. The crash came anyway, and it knocked him flat. He went out into the wilderness, alone. He sat down under a broom tree, and he prayed that he would die. He said, "It is enough, Lord. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors." That is not a Sunday morning prayer. That is a man who has reached the end of himself. That is someone who gave everything and found out it was not enough to keep the fear from coming back. I want to stay here for a moment before I move on, because some of you watching this are sitting under your own broom tree right now. You fought, you prayed, you believed, and you are still exhausted, still afraid. And the fight is not even over yet. I am not going to rush past that to get to the good news. You need someone to acknowledge what this actually costs. So I am saying it plainly. What you are carrying is heavy. The fact that you are still here is not small. Elijah lay down under that tree and went to sleep. Here is what God did. He sent an angel, and the angel touched him and said 4 words. Get up and eat. There was bread baked over hot coals and a jar of water. That was it. No sermon, no correction, no list of everything Elijah should have done differently when Jezebel's message arrived. Just bread, just water, just the words, get up. Elijah ate and drank and went back to sleep. And the angel came a second time. Get up and eat, because the journey is too great for you. God saw the exhaustion. He also saw what was still ahead, and he did not come with a rebuke. He came with food. This is how God responds to broken, worn-down people, not with a lecture, but with bread and water, and a gentle invitation. Get up and eat with bread. Let that land. Now here is where I need you to stay with me, because there is a moment in this story that most people walk right past, and it is carrying the most important thing I want you to hear today. When God finally spoke to Elijah, he did not come in the wind that tore mountains apart. He did not come in the earthquake. He did not come in the fire. He came in what most English translations call the still small voice. In Hebrew, those three words are kol demama daka, and together they mean the sound of thin silence. Not a whisper, something quieter than that, the thinnest possible sound. God chose that voice on purpose, because thin silence does not reach someone who is performing. It does not reach someone with their faith face on. It does not reach someone who is pretending to be further along than they actually are. It only reaches someone who has gone completely quiet, someone with nothing left to prove, someone sitting under a broom tree at the end of themselves. God did not come in the spectacular. He came in the still. And my beloved friend, that is where he will find you too. Not when you have recovered, not when you have pulled yourself together, not when you have figured out how to be okay again. Right here, right where the fear got loud, the faith went quiet, and you ran out of fight. That is exactly where the thin silence comes. The question he asked Elijah was not an accusation. He said, "What are you doing here?" Not as a rejection, as an invitation. Come back. There is still bread. There is still water. There is still a road. You are not done. The journey is just too great for you to walk alone. And here is what I want you to understand about that. The gospel is not self-improvement. It is rescue. God did not come to Elijah when Elijah finally got his act together. He came to the broom tree. He came to the lowest, most afraid, most depleted version of this prophet. And he came with food. If you are waiting until you feel strong enough to come back to God, you have missed what this story is about. He is not waiting for your recovery. He is already at the place where you collapsed. Jesus is not standing at the top of the hill, telling you to climb. He is at the bottom, with bread, with water, with the same 4 words the angel brought to Elijah. Get up and eat. You do not have to earn this. You do not have to clean yourself up first. You do not have to explain how you ended up under the tree. He already knows where you are sitting. He already knows the address. And he already came. That is not a motivational thought. That is the gospel. And it is the only thing that actually holds when you have nothing left. If this reached you today, do not just watch and move on. Share it with one person who needs to hear it right now. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. And drop one word in the comments below. Just one word that tells me where you are right now. If you need prayer, I am here to pray for you. Just reach out.